Hey guys, happy Tuesday to everybody. I wanted to come on and make this video. As you see, we've got Lola in the background. And I sound nasally because I am currently battling a sinus infection, joys of having COVID. So it's been a struggle, guys. But ultimately, I will be on antibiotics by the end of today, and then I'll be feeling better. But it is what it is. But I did not want to wait to make this video. I wanted to come on, and I wanted to do a comparison of my Owlet sock monitors, both the second generation as well as the third generation comparison. I was actually talking with my friend Lee about this yesterday. Because I know that I was so confused. I don't know why I was thinking I had the first and second generation, but I was wrong. I had second and third. So I started off with the second generation, which this is what it looks like. This is the sock as well as the actual monitoring device inside of the sock. And so I'm going to do a comparison of the two. The difference is how they fit an average newborn foot, because that matters if others are out there that like to have these very realistic props for their dolls, which I am definitely a fan of this monitoring system for realism for my dolls, especially for Monroe. When I put one of these monitors on her little chubby soft feet, the realism just pow, it's like right in your face. It's so ultra realistic, and it adds to the fun of that part of it for me in this hobby. And I love ultra realism. I'm a huge fan of all of the fun props, all of the fun things that make this hobby even more fun when we interact with our dolls. Do I always have a monitor on their feet? No. In fact, most of the time, Monroe uses the third generation, which is the most current Owlet Dream sock is what they call this. They updated and changed the name of it because they changed how the monitoring system actually works from the second generation to the third generation. So that's why they named it slightly different as it's evolved. So this is the second generation. The pink sock is my favorite. Yes, I also have the traditional green sock, which is like I want to say that it's like a light sea green, light blue green, almost, no, it's lighter than a Tiffany blue. It's a nice, beautiful blue green. I don't have one of the socks out currently. I could grab one though. But I can safely say that I thoroughly love the pink. But I love the rose, the dusty rose, even more. I'll show you the green if you're not at all familiar. I have a bunch of the socks, so that's why I can show you all of these. So this is the green. And it's basically the same, except this is more of like a neoprene. This is the third generation, but I do have it in the first generation or the second generation, older one as well. I just don't have it at quick grabbing capabilities, I guess you could say. But, so, what are the differences? Because they are different. They're very different. They're completely, one from the other is a very completely different design. I like how one fits the foot better. So as you can imagine, the second generation, the older one, is a little bit more clunky, a little more bulky, you know. So I'm going to show you how this works. So here's the monitor, which slips inside of the sock. This is where you charge it. And there's a rubbery plastic piece that wraps around the side of the baby's foot, and it tells you where to line up the pinky toe, and they're labeled whether they're right or left, and also the size. So this is the smallest size for 0 to 1 month. This is for let's see. This one say it's for, I think this one's for the right, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so this one's for the right foot. I just stop and think. The other one's labeled. I don't know why this isn't labeled. Weird. Anyways, this wraps around, the pinky toe lines up with this here. And you Velcroed on the bottom of the baby's foot, and then you wrap it around the ankle and then Velcro it. So it looks like this, toes pointing this way. And I loved this when I first got it before they had the 3rd generation. So I've gotten lots of use out of this because many of you have seen this on Monroe's foot in my previous video. So you have definitely seen this. And actually, now that I think about it, I think that it only is for the right foot in the older generations. They didn't do both feet. That's probably why, because I think they don't come with two socks. I could be wrong, but I think it's just for the right foot, which is why they're not labeled. I'll get there. My brain is a little foggy these days, guys. I've literally been dealing with headaches constantly, so it has not been real helpful to think clearly. But it still is it's a very good prop, and I know you can find these on the secondary market for, you know, parts, things that don't work, because clearly you don't need a working monitor on a doll, right? So you can find the parts very cheap. In fact, I know multiple collectors out there have found these on the secondary market, non-working, for like pennies on the dollar compared to what they were brand new. They were a couple $100s or more brand new. So I've gotten lots of use out of this. But the downfall of this design, what I don't like about it, is the fact that this monitor piece wraps around and it makes it very stiff. So I don't generally like this on a reborn, on a vinyl reborn, because it's stiff. Not that it would do any damage, but like it's clunky. You can see that it's bulky on the inside, right? But it works. But if you have a silicone, it won't matter because the silicone is soft and more pliable. It's just harder, especially on Lola's feet. It's harder to get it to fit so it doesn't look like it's restricting her. So a lot of times I just set this, you know, in the basket next to her as a prop, so that, you know, okay, there's her monitor. We have it there. That's great. So let's move on to the 3rd generation, which is the most current generation of the Owlet sock monitor. It's called the Owlet Dream. The Owlet Dream monitor. And this is a whole different design. So when they came out with this, they really upgraded. So, and you can see this one's labeled for right foot. And the monitor is just one piece that Velcros in. And you'll see it's in the original mint color because that's what it comes with originally, unless you order it in a different color. But mine I ordered, and I ordered this directly from Owlet. So it is a working, functional system, even though, yes, I know it's a doll. But I've gotten lots of good use and enjoyment out of it, so I don't mind that I've spent the money. But it Velcros in, and this is the monitoring piece. The monitor, when charged, this will light up. And so this will tell you behind pinky toe on the right foot. So it would go onto the foot, and then it wraps around. Oh my gosh, my brain. So it wraps around. Pinky toe be there, and then this comes up and around the ankle, and this is how it would look. Toes facing out that way. So what I like about this is, one, I like the fabric better on the sock. It's more of a neoprene versus like a stretchy cotton, which I think is just softer against the baby's skin. It's softer looking on the outside of it. It's more flexible and stretchy. And you don't have that piece. It does sort of like, this ends up sort of on like the side of the foot, because there's where your pinky toe will be. So ultimately, it's a better design. It really is a better design. And I've got this backwards. It goes like this. I'm thinking for right, but this is for the left foot. No, this is for right. Jeez, I'm losing my mind. Okay, so behind pinky toe. Goes on like this, straps around. So this ends up being like just to the side of the baby's foot. And this goes up and around the ankle. And I'll tell you, the bulk is a lot less from this one. You can see it's a completely different design. Completely. But equally, like, I love this design better. It looks better on the baby's foot. And this actually is kind of tight on Monroe's foot, whereas this one is a little more room. Even though it's the same, you know, newborn size, these are both the same size socks. They're meant for a newborn, it's the first size. I just like the design of this one. It's just much smoother looking. It's cooler looking. I like that just the bulk of the actual monitor is on the outside of it. It doesn't have to wrap around, so you don't have the bulk inside. It's just a smoother, nicer design. So see, this one looks smaller. So yeah, if you've got a baby with a bigger foot, you're gonna have to go size up one more size for a larger foot, because this one definitely runs smaller. But yeah, they're both super fun though, guys. I have to tell you that I've just gotten so much enjoyment out of them. So it really doesn't matter which one you go with if you decide you want to get one. Because don't waste a lot of money. Like, if you want one because it's fun. I know some people that just have the sock without the monitor in it, because you can buy the socks separately. I have a whole collection of socks. They come in a varying of colors and designs, which is also a lot of fun, because it's kind of a little outfit accessory, if you will. You know, it's just something, you know, another accessory that it makes the, you know, hobby more enjoyable for us. But yeah, so that's the difference. I can tell you that I get a lot of use out of both, but mostly the most, you know, the newest version, which is the 3rd generation. But yeah, so there's the monitor, guys. Hopefully that's helpful, because I have gotten a lot of questions. Most people think that I have not gotten the monitoring system itself. I have the whole system. It's, you know, this sock usually lives with Monroe, that particular monitor, and then there's the actual monitoring device that actually sings tunes. It sends out alarms. When my power goes out, it restarts and plays a song until I come in and reset it. It's kind of funny because I forget about it. But yeah, I mean, it's all a lot of fun. I have such a good time being able to enjoy the level of realism that I like to enjoy. I think everybody's different, but yeah. But this is the box for the Owlet Dream Sock. This is what we would call the 3rd generation. So if you search on like eBay or Facebook Marketplace, this is the most updated Owlet Dream Sock system. So yeah, I've gotten a ton of use out of this. It's fun. It's definitely fun, especially if you have a newborn size reborn that you want to add that pop of realism. That definitely is the way to go. And like I said, you can find non-working ones parts. You can search Owlet sock parts. And if you just want to have the sock, you can just purchase the sock separately. And they come in an array of different colors, and I love them. I love them. I get much use out of them. So even though I spent, you know, the money on a new working system, it's a good investment, because I use it all the time. Monroe uses it all the time. So yeah, so hopefully this is helpful. Gives you an idea of the, you know, how they each look. And both are available as used. Like, you can find the 2nd generation for sure, you can get for non-working parts or whatever, or a used system for cheap. The 3rd most current generation, you're going to find even the used parts, they're still very expensive, I think. So if you're not picky about it, but you cannot, the one thing I want to say is you can't interchange the monitors from one generation to the other. Like, you can't use the 3rd generation sock with the 2nd generation actual monitor, because it won't fit inside the sock. It's just a completely different design. So you can't interchange them. One is for one is for the other. So if you're buying separate parts, make sure you know what generation you're buying, so that you can purchase the matching appropriate socks that go with it, if that makes sense. Because this monitor will not fit in this sock, and vice versa. It's just a completely different design. So it's just, one doesn't work. They don't work with each other. this has to be with the right generation sock, and this one has to be with the right generation sock. So hopefully that helps. And I encourage anybody that likes this sort of thing to, try it out. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. When I first decided to get the first one, people are like, well, what is that on her foot? I used to get comments on my videos, what is that on Monroe's foot? Is there something wrong with it? And then I had to explain what it was, which I thought was cute because most people just weren't aware of it. And then when I got the second one, most people knew what it was. And I explained that I'd gotten the new one and kind of went over my thoughts of the new system and everything. And it really is just so much fun to have that little extra amount of realism for a prop. And yeah, I'm getting a lot of fun, getting a lot of use out of it. So yeah, I highly encourage those that have thought about it and think they want one to definitely go out and get one and have fun with it, because that's what this hobby's about. Fun. So anyways, guys, I hope you're having a great start to your work week, and you'll see us very, very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.